For Wendouree.
Thank you, Speaker, and what a difficult act to follow. The member for Mount Waverley is always such a delight to listen to. The insights that he brings to this House, the popular culture references. I must admit, I do turn the volume up if I'm not in the chamber to hear the words of the member for Mount Waverley, and has not disappointed once again tonight. Like the member for Mount Waverley, I too am so pleased to speak on this motion that is before the House today. Early education is an issue that is important to so many families in Wendouree, and the rollout of the Andrews Labor government's landmark reforms that will see $5 billion invested over the next decade to deliver 15 hours of 3-year-old kinder has been very well received within my community. The evidence is in, and the evidence is clear. 2 years are better than 1 when it comes to early learning. Our kindergartens are not only places where children learn, but where they create, where they innovate and where they play. They are a vital part of our community. Therefore, it is crucial that we invest in our educators, our kinder programs, our infrastructure to support them. How children learn is changing because knowledge is changing faster for them than any other generation in history. It's never been more important to invest in and develop in a culture of curiosity and creative thinking. That is why we are revolutionising early learning by providing 3-year-old kinder for every Victorian child. I would really and sincerely like to thank the mover of this motion, the Parliamentary Secretary for Early Childhood Education, the member for Carrum, for her commitment to this portfolio, and commend her for her excellent contribution to this debate, but more importantly, the landmark work she is doing in the field of early education. The introduction of 15 hours of 3-year-old kinder is about ensuring that our youngest Victorians get the very best start in life. It will be transformative in both the short term and the longer term for our children and for our state. I'm proud to be a part of a government that is again implementing transformative social policy for Victoria. Kinders hold a special place in the hearts of many families, and it was lovely to hear the member for Mount Waverley talking about how important being a kinder parent was to him and watching his children grow. They're where our children make their first friends. They learn to cut with scissors. They learn to sing new songs and play new games. They are often exposed to different cultures of their friends and educators. They do the sensory and messery play that many parents can't or won't do at home. They learn invaluable social skills as well as literacy and communication skills through play. They experience creativity, technology and maths. They cement the skills that they need for school. In fact, children learn more quickly in the first 5 years of their life than at any other time. As a former school teacher, I know firsthand that attending 3-year-old and 4-year-old kindergarten is so important to a child's development because 90% of brain development occurs before a child turns 5. These early years are also crucial for early intervention for children with disabilities and vulnerable children. By giving children that additional year at kinder, we are providing them with a safety net and setting them up for future success. I wish to commend the Minister for Education, our Deputy Premier, for his exceptional leadership through the coronavirus and his hard-working advisors in his ministerial office, including Chris, Sinead, Liam and Alice. As well as impacting on students at school, TAFEs and universities across Victoria, the coronavirus also impacted on our littlest learners who attend kindergarten. That is why I'm very proud that the Andrews Labor government announced $45 million in additional funding to provide support for sessional kindergarten providers. This funding was to provide support in light of numbers declining significantly as more and more parents chose to keep their children at home at the commencement of the coronavirus pandemic. The funding of approximately $485 per child enrolled for Term 2 was significant, as it allowed providers to continue teaching and caring for Victorian kids, importantly including the children of essential workers such as our nurses, our cleaners, our supermarket and pharmacist employees, all for free during Term 2. It also provided for vulnerable children to be able to continue their 15-year-old kinder programs and interactions with early educators during the time of restriction and lockdown for free. I wish to thank ECKA and all our early educators across Ballarat for the work they did during the coronavirus pandemic, keeping our children safe and supporting them with their learning. I would also like to recognise the amount of work that has been done by our kinders to make sure that drop-offs and pick-ups are safe for parents, for carers and for children, while maintaining social distancing. Your efforts are greatly appreciated. Both our girls attended 3-year-old kinder at Fidelity Kinder in Ballarat Central. I would particularly like to thank the amazing early educators at Fidelity, Heather and Mary, and all the other educators who have had such a positive influence on the lives of our daughters. Kinders across Victoria are very, very special places. At Fidelity, every child is valued and has the opportunity to learn. Explore, make choices, cooperate, collaborate, investigate, negotiate and create meaning to the extent of their current knowledge and abilities. It is a safe place for children to learn, to make mistakes and thrive as they grow in awareness about themselves and the world they live in. 3-year-old kinder was so beneficial for my children in developing early numeracy and literacy skills, encouraging a love of books and painting and promoting their imagination, their role play, as well as a vital time to build confidence, relationships and a sense of self. I believe that every child in Victoria should have access to quality 3-year-old kinder for 15 hours per week, and that no child should be left behind. The benefits of the Early Years Education Project for children do not just flow into the school years, but well and beyond. And we certainly heard that from the Minister for Justice, who's just walked in, about the prison population and the importance of providing kids with education and support. So we've made a number of commitments in this space. Our commitment to early education requires a huge investment in local infrastructure and education and training for early educators. That is why we are investing $5 billion over 10 years. This will give all young children the chance to have access to a high-quality foundation to their education. And it is an investment not only in infrastructure and equipment, but an investment in Victoria's future. We know that early education is so important and the evidence is in. Researchers are united in demonstrating that the quality, play-based learning is a powerful way to support children's learning and development. Australian Early Development Census shows us that the foundations of one's success, health and emotional well-being can be traced back to early childhood. Cost should be no barrier to access 3-year-old kinder. All parents and their children, our youngest students, should have the same opportunity to give their children the best start in life, regardless of household income. This is an important issue of equality of opportunity for all. This government has prioritised our youngest Victorians because we know that's where we can make a real difference. We are making Victoria the education state, and not only are we looking after our youngest people by making sure that we undertake this policy reform in a strategic way, beginning with 6 regional LGAs before we start with another 15 local government areas. By 2022, children in my community will have access to 5 hours of subsidised kindergarten before it is fully rolled out in 2029. It's very important that with more 3-year-olds than ever attending kinder, we need more early educators. That is why we are supporting our future early learning educators by adding Diploma of Early Childhood Education and Care and the Cert 3 in Early Childhood Education and Care to free TAFE. This will remove the financial barriers to people who wish to train or retrain. We're also providing financial support in the form of scholarships and employment incentives for people looking for a rewarding career in the early childhood sector. I encourage anyone who would like to be an early educator to look into this. In conclusion, once again, we are putting words into action across Victoria. 3-year-old kinder will make a real difference to the lives of local kids thanks to amazing educators. Victoria is the education state, and the Andrews Labor government is delivering for all Victorians, including our littlest ones, with kinder, and they will continue to reap the benefits of our record investment into schools as they continue their education journey. With the $5 billion invested we are making over the next decade, I am sure that Victorian kids will have a fantastic future. I commend this motion to the House.